What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another workout video. Today we're going to be going back to the gym since the gyms are now open in my area. So this is going to be using dumbbells as well as a few pieces of equipment. And first off, we're going to start with some seated hammer curls to a regular curl. So I want you to do these nice and slow. Your elbows should be locked in place. You should not be swinging around. You should be using a light weight that you can actually control. Here I'm just using 15s, so you don't need to go super heavy on any of these movements. And the focus here is to really just get the contraction and focus on the squeeze at the very top, nice and slow. After that, you're gonna move into dumbbell kickbacks. On these, you wanna make sure that your elbow is nice and high as it is shown here. As I'm performing this movement, you don't want your elbow down low and you wanna leave your elbow in place. Again, you wanna go very, very light on these. I believe I was using a 10-pound weight here because there is a lot of resistance when you are pushing a weight up and your elbow is nice and high. But make sure you focus on the squeeze at the top of these. Next up would be overhead extensions with a dumbbell. So you're gonna use a single dumbbell here. As you get this weight up, you wanna try to keep your elbows locked in place as close to your head as possible. You don't want your elbows to be flaring out super wide. You wanna keep everything nice and tight. Control the weight. Again, you should not be swinging around. You should not be doing anything crazy here. Really focus on that squeeze at the top. You can see that I stop at the top for just a second to get that squeeze, because that's how you're really gonna get the most blood into the muscle and force it to grow at the end of the day. Next up is crossbody dumbbell curls. This is by far my favorite bicep movement in my opinion. I just love the way that this feels. For this, you wanna basically move your right arm up to your left pec and your left arm up to your right pec. So nice, slow, controlled. Again, slow squeeze at the very top when you're performing this movement. Next up is the machine preacher curl. So you may not have this exact machine, or if you don't have a machine preacher curl, you can also use a regular preacher curl with dumbbells or with a barbell to substitute for this. The focus here again is nice and slow, especially when you're going all the way back down. Make sure that you control this movement on the way down. A lot of people, they end up just forcing the weight up and then they drop it down and there's no focus at all on the actual eccentric portion of the exercise. So that would be that exercise. Next up, we've got tricep rope extensions. Same thing here with all these movements. Elbows should be staying in place. We're gonna do a nice squeeze at the bottom. You can see that I'm squeezing out just to get the best contraction there. And again, I'm not moving around. My elbows are staying in place. It's pretty much the same instructions for all of these arm movements at the end of the day, because when you're moving your arms and exercising your arms, you don't want to be moving your arms, is what I mean. So your arms should basically be staying in place whenever you're doing these sort of movements. Next up is the V-bar, and the different attachments just get you a different contraction at the end of the day. They're gonna hit a different head on the tricep muscle. The next up is underhand tricep extensions. You don't have to do these underhand per se. You can do them overhand, but for me personally, I know that I feel a better contraction doing them underhand, and this is just for me personally. Just be aware that it is gonna strain your wrist a little bit if you go too heavy, so you're gonna have to go lighter if you're doing them underhand. Next up is straight bar cable curls. So this again is one of my favorite movements. I just feel that the resistance that the cables put on your biceps for this movement is pretty much unmatchable, and really, really good exercise. Again, not swinging, not doing anything crazy. Elbows are staying in place and just squeezing at the top. Last up is the rope cable curl. So on this one, what I do want to say is when you get to the very top of the movement, you always want to basically point your thumbs outward. So you can see that my thumbs kind of protrude out when I get to the top, and that's just going to allow you to get the best contraction at the peak of the bicep there. And last up is dips. So these are bodyweight dips. You want to go till failure on these. This is just something that I always like to end my workout with, is bodyweight dips, and 4 sets of these to failure. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of these videos, make sure you subscribe down below. And we also have full workout programs available down below in the description. You can click the first link as well as the link here coming up on the end screen. We've got bulking programs, cutting programs, we've got nutrition programs, we've got it all, at-home programs. So check that out down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.